Buenos tardes, amigos. Have I got something to show you? If there's one thing I absolutely love about traveling, is when you discover a place you never heard of, a place, that's it's never been on my radar, and I found it, Manizales, Colombia, and we're gonna take a little tour around the city. And what's really cool about Manizales is not only is it someplace I've never heard of or discovered, it seems like no one else has either. I've been here for a couple days, and honestly, 2 or 3 people that could have been tourists. Otherwise, this is just untouched Colombia. Now, Manizales is in west central Colombia, in the mountains. It's at an altitude of almost 7,000 feet. It is in the heart of the coffee growing region. It has perfect weather year round. It's constantly spring. Temperature ranges from 55 to 70 degrees all year round. And it's a cute town. It's a population of just over 400,000, and it's spread out among all these different mountain peaks, and it still has a small town feel. And what I really like about it is it still has an edge, a spiciness to it. It hasn't been ruined by tourists. There are other mountain towns in Colombia, and I've been to a few. They're cool, beautiful, but a lot of them look like a movie set. They're so perfect, and every gift shop sells the same thing, traditional artisanal art. None of that here. I don't know why this isn't on the tourist radar, but yeah, it's got a spice, it's got a grit. It is a real, living, breathing, pulsating, vibrant Colombian city without the tourist nonsense. You're not gonna find that street with all the umbrellas hanging on cables. You're not gonna see that alleyway here. And today, we're gonna go to the central part, the center of the city, and we're gonna go check it out. And we are in. Even though I'd like to take credit for discovering this, it was actually my friends, Joe and Milena. They have been living in Colombia on and off for the past year, and they found this a few weeks ago, and they loved it so much they're actually making an offer on a house today. But this week, the town is crowded. It's a fair that runs through the week that celebrates bullfighting, coffee production, coffee making, the tango, and there are events all over the city. There's gonna be a rum tasting festival. There's gonna be a Miss Coffee beauty pageant. There's gonna be live music, local bands, international bands, and yet, no tourists. Lots of dogs, a very dog-friendly city. Yeah, very people-friendly. Everyone's very nice. Absolutely lovely, lovely place. Let's continue. You'll find a lot of these cafeterias, restaurants, especially in this area of town. Hey-o. And in some of the other neighborhoods, it's more high-end, and there are high-end dining and some high-end shopping. But in this area, the center, it's you'll find no chain restaurants. There's no McDonald's. There's no KFCs. There's no Domino's. And you're gonna see a lot of this. Like I mentioned, this is the coffee capital of Colombia. So you're gonna see these little carts. Hola. You're gonna see these carts everywhere, and people drinking tons of different types of coffee. And it's really nice to wake up in the morning and just step right outside of my hotel, and I actually have to choose which cart to purchase coffee from. Now the streets are a little crowded, and to be honest, I don't know if it's because of the fair. I would assume so. As I mentioned, it is a big event here in Colombia, and you're not going to see many, if any, tourists. It's almost like I have it all to myself. And if you look down here, look how crazy steep that street is. I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera, but yeah, probably one of the steepest usable streets I've ever seen. Now, I almost didn't make it here to see my friends in Manizales. I didn't know this, but to travel from Brazil to Colombia, you have to have proof of a yellow fever vaccination, which I do have the vaccination from decades ago visiting Africa, but I have no proof of that. Let's cross this street. And again, look at this crazy, crazy hill. So with no proof, I booked a ticket to Panama City with a layover in Bogota. And of course, I missed my connection. And like I mentioned, Manizales has an edge, a nice edge, but it seems very, very safe, very well patrolled. Hola, amiga. And yeah, I feel fine walking around, even in some of the more questionable neighborhoods. And more street performers. And as you can see, lots of people, lots of police patrolling. And my favorite thing about this mountain region of Colombia is the food. The mountain food, the bandeja paisa, has to be one of the most bestest, greatest, fantastic dishes on the planet. And maybe we'll get some in a little bit here. And on that far mountain range over there, Nevado del Ruiz, a volcano, and it stretches way above that range. Snow-capped, shadows the city, and maybe before this tour ends, the sky will clear. You can never tell with this mountain weather, and we'll get a glimpse of it. But it is a very stereotypical cone-shaped volcano. And check out the architecture on these buildings down this alley. The whole city in this central area looks like this. These beautiful, beautiful old colonial style buildings. And again, everything is very well patrolled. And I feel very, very safe. And let's go take a look at this church over here. And here we have Our Lady of the Rosary, the centerpiece of the town center. Early 1900s neo-Gothic architecture, and it is beautiful. And here we are in the main square of the town, where they're setting up a stage where we'll have live music and other performances for the fair. And here's a view of the front of the church. And over here, we have a statue of a winged man. And that winged man is depicting Simon Bolivar, a winged man with a condor head, the liberator of Colombia, Venezuela, and Panama. And it's a very, very cool statue. It's huge. I don't think you catch the size of it on the camera very well. Now, as I mentioned, there are more affluent neighborhoods than here in the city center. And we're not going that way. It gets kind of sketchy down here. sketchy looking, but I feel safe. So let's go check it out. As we get down in this area, you're gonna see a lot more bars, casinos, a lot more homeless people, more graffiti, more trash. And still a lot of doggies. And of course, classic me, my hotel's right here in the worst part of town. When I booked it, I had no idea. And luckily what's up, brother? Luckily, I only booked a few nights, and I will be moving to a better location tomorrow. It's an interesting neighborhood, to say the least. But there's still shops, little restaurants, and like I said, a lot of these casinos. I haven't been in one, so not sure what type of games they're playing in there. It's got a very Skid Row type of feel to it. Hola. Hola. Money. Oh, everybody wants some money from me. But as you can see, there's lots, it's like a chorus yelling money. Lots of graffiti, lots of homeless. But still, a very, very interesting section of town. Buenas tardes. It's so friendly. Money, money, money. And it is hilly. You'll probably hear me panting as we try and get up to this next interesting area of the town. And you've probably noticed it's definitely an older population here. And my guess is that a lot of the young people probably have left this mountain town to go to the bigger city, such as Medellin, Bogota, Cali, Cartagena, to make a better life for themselves. However, I think my friends have it right. This city probably has more growth potential than any of those. And it's close to all of them. You make a triangle of Bogota, Cali, and Medellin, and Manizales is right there in that triangle, right in the heart of it. Now this is great. The bars are right on the sidewalk. A poker, the grande. Gracias. Gracias. So I have a tall boy poker beer. It's delicious. And this cost about 95 cents. Bullfighting is actually illegal here in Colombia. But in Manizales, and I can't figure it out, it's legal this time of year. And I don't know if it's just for the week or if it's the kickoff of the season. But it is the only city left in Colombia where bullfighting is legal. And all that's about to change. I don't know if this is the last year or when it's going to end, but it is ending. And I think bullfighting in general, it's in the cards. no one's going to be watching a bullfight anywhere in the world within the next 10 years. There's currently 8 countries other than Colombia where it's still legal, and in most of those it's illegal in the majority of their states. Spain being the main one. It's such a part of Spain's identity, yet only 19% of the population are in favor of keeping it legal. So those days are numbered. And then you also have Peru, France, Ecuador. You have Portugal, where it's legal, but you don't kill the bull. And the same for the USA. USA does have bullfighting, but again, you don't kill the bull. Let's go this way. Now, I am definitely against killing, abusing animals for entertainment. But because I'm here, because it's a bullfighting festival, I did some research. I wanted to see if I, could understand the cultural side of it, the artistic side of it. And it is a very interesting tradition. It started over 1,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia. Someone whistling at me? Then it was discovered by the Romans, who brought it to Spain. And it's been going on for thousands of years. And there's all this intricate etiquette involved. There's 6 acts that have these strict rules on how everything is done. It's fascinating, but it will be history soon. And that's good. So in the morning, this is where I've been coming for my morning run. And yeah, it's pretty steep and hard, but the views are ridiculous. It's so nice. And in the morning, the clouds are really, really low. And I'm winded right now. But you're just running above the clouds in about 60-degree weather when the sun's coming up. I mean, really can't get much better than that. Let's take a look up here at the edge. Whoa. And I'll also mention that today is my birthday. Today I'm 55 years old. So if you want to give me a happy birthday, sympathy, like, or share, please don't hesitate. I won't be insulted. Just keep climbing. I think my friends have the right idea. By purchasing here, other than, Medellin, which is insanely popular for foreigners buying property. But look, this is the main road around the city. During a busy fair weekend, and there's hardly any traffic. And then if you look out here, look at this view. And the place they're looking at, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, with a view just like this in an affluent neighborhood, just over $100,000. Manizales has yet to be discovered. It has yet to be ruined. If you want to get in early, now's the time, because you'll know the name 5 years from now. I can guarantee that. And you'll find there's a lot of outdoor public spaces. Across the street, there's a little park with workout stations for sit-ups, pull-ups, stretching, and yeah, in the middle of my run, I like to stop there, do some exercises with the other guys, and yeah, it's just nice. It's a nice neighborhood, nice city. I really like it. And this neighborhood that I'm in is called Chipre. And you'll notice it has a completely different vibe from down at the bottom of the hill, where we were in the, well, not the bottom, but down in the city center, where we had a lot of homeless, a lot of graffiti, we had people asking for money. Here's a totally, I'm gonna start a totally different vibe. Nice restaurants. Quiet, a park, public spaces, just a really, really nice neighborhood. Chipre. Look how beautiful this doggy is. Wow. Very handsome. Let's cross the street and look at the view from Chipre. And like I was saying, you can get a 2-3 bedroom house in this neighborhood with views like this for just over $100,000. Makes you think. And here we have a really cool section with a view, and it's all food carts. There you have it. Manizales. Very cool city. I'm gonna be hanging out here for a couple more days, enjoying the fair, checking the things out. And if you're interested, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell. There's more to come, but I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. Let's go eat some mountain food. I'm out.